Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Crystal. I'm a bariatric patient, and I've just recently started this channel up to inform and enlighten others and educate them on what the bariatric process is like. And so you may can check them out on my other videos. Today, I know whenever I went to do my class the other day, I kind of showed y'all like around the room, and I think I showed y'all this book, but I really didn't get into it. And I'm not going to get into it now, but we are going to go over it. I'll have to have my husband's help. I'm legally blind, so I can't just read. But I know what the front of this right here says, of course, because I get to zoom in on stuff like that. And so this is your bariatric surgical guidebook right here. This is going to tell you about the surgery and what to expect, what they're going to do, what your eating habits are going to be like prior to surgery, on up past surgery. And then it tells you a little bit about the effects of the surgery, which obviously is weight loss due to the reconstruction of your stomach on both of them. And then it's going to tell you about your lifestyle changes and your the care that you're going to have to do at home, and just a lot of different things. And it's going to give you key points about the surgery that are upsides, and then of course it'll let you know that there can be downfalls and complications, but that's very rare. I think they say, like on the videos, it's like 1%. Until you're going to learn about your hospital stay after the surgery, of how you're going to have to get up and you're going to have to walk. They're going to make you walk so many times. They're going to make you go to the bathroom, and just make sure your pain level's under control and whatnot, what forth. So then some people with the gastric sleeve, they get to go home the same day later if they complete everything that they're supposed to do. I don't know if that is around the United States, or if that's just those that go to Tijuana, Mexico to get it done, to where they're actually allowed to go back to like the hotel. As far as to the Roux-en-Y, if I'm saying that right, which is the gastric bypass, you have to stay at least 24 hours. And that's what the nurse that I talked to today had told me. She was like, if something comes up and you need to stay 2 days, you'll be there for 2 days. But if not, you'll be going home the next afternoon. So I was like, yeah. And so they do have requirements to what you have to do before you're released. And so the next thing I want to mention that you're going to look at in here and everything is pulmonary embolisms, or just blood clots. So what a pulmonary embolism is it's a blood clot that hits your lung. And a lot of time it's life-threatening. My brother had one happen to him, and his was, I want to say he coded. And he fell out in the bathroom floor at my mama's house some years back, and they got him to the hospital, and he was in ICU. He pulled through it, but it was by the grace of God that he did, because, man, his lungs, so many, like the one that broke loose or whatever, hit his lung in so many spots. His lungs were like 3/4 full of blood clots that was mighty close to his heart. And had his lungs been fully covered, it probably wouldn't have ended so well. But it was already a very scary situation to get that call, that my brother what had happened. So that, y'all, is what a pulmonary embolism is. Blood clots in your legs is where they're worried about it starting at. And what that comes from is if you're not, one surgery, and then you got bleeds, right, where, not really bleeds, but where you've bled, and, incisions, and just as far as to where they're coming from in your legs is that you're not really keeping them circulating. So your blood's not circulating good, and then it clots up. And if that clot breaks loose and hit the lungs, that's where it becomes a pulmonary embolism. So, y'all, what they're going to do is, before you go into surgery, either right before they take you back or when you get in the OR, they're going to put these things on your legs. And it's going to feel like this, they're just basically doing something to stimulate the the nerve or whatever in your legs to keep that blood going. That way it doesn't stop and clot. So that's why they want you to get up and walk. Because if you get in that bed and you just lay in that bed, you stand much more significantly of a high rate of getting a blood clot versus if you get up and you're walking around. I believe things happen, they just happen, and there's no control of it. So, you could be up walking more than what they recommend. And I don't think that would be hurtful as long as you weren't hurting yourself, and still get a blood clot. But your chances of getting one are much higher if you're not getting up, moving, and walking. And even if you're in pain, if you're not getting up and doing something, then you stand much higher of a rate. So get up and walk, pain or not. We're all big girls. It wasn't hard for us to lay around and get fat. For some of it. Some of us, it was health conditions, but still, same thing. It's, and I didn't mean that in a mean way, so I hope don't nobody take that. But I'm just saying, you want this so bad, just like we at one point, whatever it was that led us to gain weight. And surely all of us is eating. At some point, we just don't realize that we're overeating. So we try to say, well, no, I wasn't, but really you were. And so that's what I meant when I said that. It's that, it wasn't a problem to us to lay there and not literally lay, but to indulge in the wrong thing at the wrong time and too much, too long, and maybe it runs in the family, but all in all, very few cases are that people are just putting on weight. Usually it's because they're intaking too many calories and their metabolism's not working right. It could be health condition related as well. But then you also know when you're eating bad, and a lot of it, that you're going to gain weight. And so those are the ones I'm speaking of when I stay laying around, and doing it. Because I was sick, and I didn't, certain times I would fight, and certain times I would just be like, forget it. And most of the time, that's what it was. And so through being sick and not able to do nothing, and then I was already heavy anyway then, and so then that just made it worse, because then I gained more weight, which put more weight on what was already hurting from the weight that was there from the beginning. And so when I say get up and walk to keep the blood flowing in your legs, don't let the pain stop you. It's saying don't give in. Because then if you give in to that, your body is automatically going to have that, and it's going to give in to anything else that comes along. Because you still have a high risk of things happening when you get home. Complications. That does not mean it's going to. There's just always that possibility. So you need to be prepared, and you need to try to do everything that you can do to keep that from happening, which is sip on your water after the surgery, do what they say with your diet prior to, and then once you get there, stay on what you've been taught. You know that you can't drink 30 minutes before you eat, so you got the 30. It's different doctors. Some is 30-30. Can't drink 30 minutes before you eat, 30 minutes after you eat. And you can't eat 30 minutes before you drink, you get it, and or after you drink. So either way, that's a rule after surgery. And you don't want to try it from what I've heard. You want to separate them. So no sugar. You know that for the first week after, and sometimes 2 weeks before, that you're on a clear liquid diet. So don't try to sneak in, a bite of that noodle that's in there, whatever, because you're going to get sick. Don't go home and smoke a cigarette if you have the gastric bypass, because that gives you a high chance of, 1, the pulmonary embolism, 2, it restricts your arteries, 2, heart, 3, there's so many different stuff. A perforated stomach, an ulcer, a bleed. Hello, follow all the doctor's orders. So the next thing that they want you to do is right before surgery, a lot of times they're going to call you in this patch. It's a nausea patch, basically. You're going to put it behind your ear the night before. And so then they want you to take like 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol, and like the night before, and then early the next morning they want you to take some gabapentin, and then the night before they want you to drink, I think it's like 32 or 48 ounces of apple juice, or you can do a pre-surgical drink. Hold on, I'll show that to y'all. I'll show that to y'all here in just a second. So, and then I think they want you to drink 2 of them because it's like 48 ounces of fluid, or unless you do apple juice. So then, and then they don't want it to be sugar-free on this. They want you, the carbs basically, to get you through until, I think after surgery or whatever. So then the morning of, they want you to drink like 16 to 24 ounces of apple juice, or you can do another pre-surgical drink. Again, they want you to do with sugar. They don't want you to drink the sugar-free. And then the gabapentin. So then they're going to go on, and it's going to talk about the nutrition plan, which is what you're going to do, which you'll start out at clear liquids for about a week, and then you'll go... I've heard somebody say a day, but it really depends on yourself and I guess the doctor. Sometimes they're going to make you stay on clear liquids all the way up to a week after your surgery, and then they'll go to full liquids, and then after that they're going to go to soft food. It's all in here. And then, from that you'll go to like puree. I think that's considered under the soft food. And then they'll go into regular food to see what you can tolerate and what you can't. And, you just have to figure that out. That part's a guessing game because you don't know until after, because they tell you that your taste buds can change. They tell you that things you used to be able to eat, you can't eat no more, and things like that. And sometimes your stomach just can't handle a whole lot, with all the change going through. So then they proceed to tell you about another important fact, that is your protein. You've got to have protein to lose weight, okay? You might lose a little bit, but see, that's why I didn't lose a lot for a while. It's because I was not following what they wanted me to diet-wise. And I'll get into that in a whole different live, because I want to talk about body dysmorphia and what it is, and, like PTSD that is related to weight loss, and, somewhat of an eating disorder, and a few other things that are struggles and have been struggles for me. And I want them to explain them to y'all and just talk to y'all a little bit about that. So then we're going to go forward. They want you to know good nutrition. So when they say good nutrition, they don't just mean what you eat, rather alone. They also mean what vitamins you're taking, what supplements you're taking, what are you drinking, how much, and stuff like that. So that's kind of where that comes from. Then you're going to do your follow-up appointment with your surgeon, and you'll do a follow-up appointment with your PCP. You're going to do support groups before surgery, after surgery. I'm actually in one. I love it. They're going to give you resources for, that's going to help you to proceed with the daily life of a bariatric surgeon. Bariatric surgery. And so, yeah. And then y'all just remember to always measure out your food and stuff, and try to keep up with everything. I'll keep y'all updated on how everything is. So I don't know if I told y'all or not, but my surgery is January the 5th. I live in South Dakota, and my surgery is going to be here in the States, obviously, South Dakota. It's going to be in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's about an hour from where I'm at. And I have to be there at 9:30, so I have to drink my drink by 7:30, no later. So that'll be a morning that I get up really early, because with my surgery being at 11:30, them dropping me off at 9, I'll be on the bus about 7, before 7. So it'll be a long day, exciting day. But you guys have a blessed Saturday. Keep your heads held high. If nobody told you they love you today, I love you, and I'll be back. Bye-bye, YouTube family.